Hey guys, and welcome to the very first review of the shit season. Yeah, so I think before I tell you guys, what I think about the movies, I need to give you a little insight on The Evil Dead and why I love it so much, and fuck, dear man, this movie kind of scarred me for a good while. But anyway, let's flashback, right? Fucking 8th grade me. I don't like horror movies, and as a matter of fact, the only horror movie I've ever seen was Gremlins, and fucking that's about it, because I was a pussy. But anyway, so I'm around 8th grade. I kind of want to get into horror movies, but I just don't know which one to start, right? And all my friends at the time were like, oh, watch The Conjuring, watch the first Saw, watch Hellraiser, The Exorcist. And I'm like, I don't know, that sounds kind of fucking intimidating, man. I don't know if I actually want to see these fucking movies. And then, one of my friends pointed out to me that Sam Raimi, the guy who directed Spider-Man, he made these old horror movies called The Evil Dead, and Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, and Army of Darkness. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of those, I've seen those around. And then as time went on, in 8th grade, I watched Watch Mojo. And yeah, come on guys, everyone used to watch Mojo back then, before the auto top 15, top 20. Kind of sad where they're at now. But anyway, the point is, so I saw, top 10 horror movies of all time, and I'll never forget, fucking Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn was on there, and I had to cover my eyes because they showed the moose fucking laughing scene and the blood pouring on. It was fucking scary. I'm like, I'm never fucking watching that ever again. But then I was like, but it's the guy who made Spider-Man, and I kind of want to see it. That scares him, so why not? And I was saying to my friends, hey, I'm gonna watch it. Like, that's not a good idea. That movie's kind of beyond. That's not a good first start. I'm like, I'm fucking sure it can't be that bad. I mean, I gotta start somewhere, right? And yeah, I watched them, and holy fuck. Damn, I fucking love these movies. I mean, they fucking scarred me because I started off with, the movie where, like, a fucking Deadite stabbed someone in the fucking ball of their knee. Not the ball of their knee, the ball of their foot, and it was cut with a pencil. They shoved it. It was fucking disgusting. But holy shit, these movies are fucking... I love these movies so much, not only because of, like, how gory it is and how crazy and goofy, but also, like, this is really the movie that, like, you know how, like, when you're learning how to swim, they're like, alright, we're gonna carry you and, just start paddling and breathe and relax. Yeah, this was like that one uncle, everything else are like, just learn how to fucking swim. They fucking slap you in the fucking back, and now you're fucking drowning. You don't think you're gonna learn how to swim, and then you learn how to swim. Luckily for me, though, my uncle saved me because I actually couldn't fucking swim at all. I still don't know how to swim. But you get the point. When I watched it, it was like my uncle just fucking slamming me into the pool and I almost died. Except, I watched The Evil Dead and I slammed myself into the pool, and instead of me drowning, I can breathe underwater, and I enjoy the waterness, and the water is horror movies. You get the fucking point. The Evil Dead was a really great push for me to go watch horror movies, because once I saw all this shit with gore, I can see anything with gore and blood and splatter. Although I can't really watch, like, Human Centipede. That's like another level of ugh. Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about the fucking movies. The Evil Dead, directed by Sam Raimi. Yeah, I'll never forget when I first started watching this, my VHS tape. Actually, so these are the ones I got. These are the ones I got. My sister bought them for me on Amazon for my birthday. And I started off with this one, the first Evil Dead, which is the one we're talking about. And, wow, I actually want to talk about the negatives first in this movie, because there are some, I love it, but, yeah, you can tell it's a first-time director. One of the negatives is that, there's a lot of shots that aren't focused. It's very blurry. I thought it was just a Netflix thing, and then I rewatched it on my VHS. Like, no, this is in the movie. There's a bunch of shots where you kind of have to squint to make it focus for yourself, and honestly, like, for a first-time director in a horror movie, I mean, that didn't really distract me majority of the time. It just was like, oh, I wish they could have done that better. Also, another negative is, like, the acting in this movie, it's very horror movie 101, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's very generic, it's very, basic, no one really stands out, except Bruce Campbell. Although, he just said because he's Bruce Campbell. He acts fine, but there's nothing spectacular. I'm like, oh my god, Bruce Campbell in this movie, holy shit. It was like, oh, yeah, I like him because he's Bruce Campbell. Another really big thing about this movie. So when I first watched it, right, first time, and I remember seeing the feeling, yo, that rape scene caught me off guard with the trees. When, you know, when they start going, I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna rip her in half? Alright, this is kind of new. And then the branch kept going up her leg. I was like, they're just gonna, like, you know, just take one leg, but they got stuck. Oh, and then it went up the skirt. I was like, okay. Why are they? And then the tree rapes her. I was like, huh. Okay, maybe this is a bit too intense. And it's just, ugh, that poor girl. Holy, I know, I just, jeez, that, oh my god, this movie got released today. Well, technically it did, but it's a but I'm saying if this version of this movie came out, it would get canceled culture a lot. But man, that was really, really fucking intense. And, oof, yeah, that's really fucking haunting. Another negative, which is not a negative, it's more like a disclaimer for you guys who aren't a fan of gore. This is probably the godfather of gore movies. There's gore every, like, 10 to 15 minutes. I'm telling you, there's always gore, and it's always intense, and you're just like, holy fuck, this is, wow, okay, they did that, and now the pencil's stabbing into her fucking knee, and it's just like, wow, I'm fucking scarred for life. Holy fucking shit. But now, let's start the positives. Oh man, the kills. Oh my god, they're so fucking, oh my lord, they're so brutal. It's so, like, over the top, but also it's like, it's very, like, disgusting. Best way, I know it's Evil Dead, I know, but like that's why I want to highlight this movie's really disgusting when it comes to its kills, man. Especially the practical effects in these movies hold up a lot. I know sometimes you can tell that was a standard and that wasn't there, but like the practical effects, holy shit, the makeup is fan-fucking-tastic, man. I don't know how Sam Raimi pulled it off. Although I know I said there's a lot of wild ass stories, but still, it's amazing. The practical effects in this movie and the way they do kills, it's fucking awesome. Even though the characters are very horror movie 101, everything after the first act, characters do a lot of smart, not smart, but just like logical things. I was kind of like, okay, so this is, even though you have generic characters, you're making them do logical things, which is like a nice twist for horror movies in a way, because you know now, and not even now, just in general, horror movies, it's always like, oh no, where should we run? To the car that works, or to the fucking closet filled with, like, a lot of fucking clowns and scissors, and be like, let's go to the fucking closet, when the car was clearly there. So, props to you, Sam Raimi. You knew what was up back in the 1980s. Another thing that worked really well is that the tension for, a lot of jump scares, they're not like lazy modern jump scare, where it's like, you're creeping in, and then, bah, it's like a fucking best friend, and it's like, hey, look what I found in the mail, or, hey, I found my keys, or, you know, your phone. There's none of that. There's only there's something like that, where, like, Ash is creeping in the dark, but even when the friends pop, there's not that, like, the noise, is like, hey, it's like I don't know, it's not a jump scare, it's more like a fun scare. That makes sense. Where there's no music, there's nothing leading up to it, just like Ash looking around, and then you see his friend just pop up. That's the best way to put it. A fun scare. But yeah, that's an absolute positive. The jump scares in the movies work, and there's only one fun scare. I think that I admire a lot about the first Evil Dead is that we never really see what the evil looks like. I know it's implied that like the evil is invisible and our characters know, but sometimes I just like that idea of like the characters are looking at the evil and we never know what it actually looks like. Like, maybe it is just the air, maybe it isn't, but I like that concept that whenever we're following someone because the evil wants to kill them, it's always from their POV. And the way it's shot, like, where just camera's always moving, going faster and faster and faster and faster, that really, that builds upon, like, the horror of this movie. And I think that's amazing because Evil Dead was, like, it's very famous for that very thing of the camera work and the gore and the deadites. And it all just works together so damn well. The Evil Dead is a fucking classic. It is a granddaddy of scary, hoary, gory movies. Hoary? That doesn't sound right. It is the godfather to scary, horror, gory movies. Yeah, I said it right, gory. I have to give Evil Dead a fucking 8.5 out of 10. This is my movie. That is the movie the whole trilogy is the thing that always go back to every Halloween. This is my Halloween like flavor, man. And I love Evil Dead. And if you guys haven't seen it, go see it. Now, disclaimer, that tree rating is about to pull you off real quick.